Are you looking to sell your Bitcoin? Well, before you do, I'd highly recommend you watch this video. This is the strategy that a lot of rich people use to leverage assets to make an income based on a return. And today we're going to be looking at that in a micro level, how you can leverage your Bitcoin and other crypto assets to earn an income off that Bitcoin. And we're going to be using the Celsius app. I just want to make a quick shout out here for anything down below. I'm going to post down below both promo codes, but there is a promo code for Celsius right now. If you do take out a loan, they'll give you crypto depending on where you are. If you're in the United States, you can't get certain cryptos, but they'll give you the crypto that's appropriate for your region. And also, if you're just new to signing up, go ahead and use my promo code. Both of us get a little bit of a reward. All right, let's get into the video. So with this video, I think it's going to be very insightful for you to understand how you can leverage your asset and why I'm so bullish on maybe buying Bitcoin after the bull market. You know, once Bitcoin capitulates and alts are sky high, at that point, the Bitcoin to altcoin ratio will be fairly good. So it might be worth it to cash out some altcoins into Bitcoin depending on the price, regardless of whether or not Bitcoin is fully crashed down. You might overall be able to get more Satoshis, and at the end of the day, the more Satoshis you get, the richer you're going to be in the next 10 to 15 years. I firmly believe that, which is why I rarely ever sell Bitcoin. In fact, I haven't sold one. So just to show you from a micro level, I had $2,000 worth of Bitcoin in a Celsius wallet. I took a $500 loan for that Bitcoin. I actually used a promo code with that. So I got $50 worth of crypto for taking out that loan. And I used that loan to buy Cel Token. I bought Cel Token at around 63 cents. I'll post screenshots all up there so you can see the exact numbers. But that token increased and I gained a good amount of money from just that little move. And that was just $500. I repeated that again and I took another loan on that Cel Token. I put half of that loan to buy more Cel Token and I put the other half to buy Polkadot at $9. And we all see where that went. So let's talk about the loan that we just took out. So I'm going to go over the specifics on the loan. We locked up a total of 1.7283 Bitcoin. So roughly around $10,000 worth, a little under. We were able to loan out $2,400 USDC. We see our term is 6 months and we have an annual payback rate of 1%, which means we are paying 1% on this entire loan. Now it gets better because we actually pay a little bit less because I paid this back in the Cel Token that I previously got. So in fact, the loan is costing me a lot less because I get a rate reduction because I'm paying in Cel. I think it's roughly around 0.89%. Now, to talk about our specifics, what happens if Bitcoin drops? We can see that the margin call is at $21,363. That means Bitcoin would have to drop to this level before Celsius engages me and asks me to add more Bitcoin into my wallet. Now, if I don't add more Bitcoin to my wallet and it drops to 17,000, at that point, I'm at risk of liquidating my position. Now, Celsius actually doesn't liquidate a lot of positions, if any. It's really hard in terms of regulation for them to liquidate positions because it almost acts as if they're selling the cryptocurrency, which doesn't really work in certain regions. Plus, they have as much incentive to keep you on the platform as possible. So they're not going to margin call you out like other platforms. They'll usually try to work with you and readjust your loan to make sure that it's refinanced to the appropriate rate that it needs to be. Whether that's you adding more collateral or paying back some of the USDC, they'll try to make it work with you so your position doesn't get liquidated, which is why I feel so comfortable being in Celsius in the first place. So to recap, we're paying 1% on the loan. So our total interest without our discount is $12.03. So right now, the total cost of my loan is $12.03. But that's not it, because while my Bitcoin is locked up, I'm also not earning an interest on my Bitcoin. So I would earn roughly between 6% interest on my Bitcoin. So I have to factor that price in as well. So I have to beat out both the interest and the interest lost on my Bitcoin. So what did I do to invest this loan in? Now, there's no question that I'm a huge Polkadot bull. I'm very bullish on the Polkadot ecosystem. I think it's really going to be going places, especially when we get the Pswap DEX out. Now, we do have the token Sora. I'm going to be making a full-on video about Sora. I'm still learning some things, and some of you guys have been helping me out in the comments. I really appreciate that. To correct my last video, the tokenomics for Sora, it is elastic. but it works on a bond structure where you would buy new Sora and that would be minted and that collateral would be put into the system. Now, I don't know the full tokenomics around it, so please bear with me. I will be putting up another video in the next coming days to explain fully what I understand about the Sora blockchain, but it will be the blockchain that runs Pswap and the Pswap DEX. It's going to be a great token to hold when you're providing liquidity. It's overall going to be one of those long-term holds that I believe in terms of the Polkadot ecosystem. I put it up there in value as much as KSM, so I'm really bullish on where this can go. So we purchased all 4.8 tokens with the $2,400. You see the price is a little bit higher there. I got it at a cheaper price, but I entered it in Blockfolio at a certain time. So ignore the $6 difference. It's not $6, but obviously that has raised and we've made around $305. So far at this point, we've made back our loan. We could hypothetically cash out our Sora and essentially pay back our loan. Now, I did buy this on Uniswap. So you might be asking, well, there was a gas fee involved. So I'm going to put Uniswap on the screen here. I actually conducted this transaction with a good friend of mine. Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend you do this, but we were able to buddy up in the transaction and we actually split the transaction fees, which helped out. I added a lot more money to buy more Sora as well on top of the loan. So it wasn't just the loan position that I wanted. I wanted to enter at a bigger rate, especially if I'm already paying the gas fee. So I took these steps to, one, minimize how much I am spending to get into this position. Now, that being said, we're not going to factor the actual gas fee in this loan, even though at the end of the day, when you equate how much I actually put in compared to how much this is, it would probably come up to maybe $10 to $15. So overall, it's not a lot of money. We're not going to make a big deal about it. And if you want to make a big deal about it, we're already in the green at this point. So of course, we bought this before the dip and this capitulated down. We did lose some money and originally it was sitting at around $2,000. And sure, you kind of kick yourself for not buying the dip. But at the same time, you can't predict short-term price action, especially a dip and a capitulation dip like that. I'm bullish long-term anyway, so I'm not concerned what the price does in the short term. So you might also be asking, well, at this point, you've put in $2,400, you've loaned this, you've actually borrowed this against your Bitcoin. Well, what happens in a crash? What happens if you lose all this money? Well, the good thing here is at this point, my crypto portfolio has grown to the point where I could easily cash out one of my other positions and pay this loan back immediately if that came to be. But I'll pay the interest every month and pay the full amount of the loan at the end of the loan period and then close out my loan and regain my Bitcoin. And what's great about Celsius is you can email them to close your loan at any point, as long as you pay the interest that was agreed upon. So I would just have to pay the $12 to get my Bitcoin out of collateral. And at that point, I could start selling my Bitcoin if that's what I needed to do. But obviously we're in a space that Bitcoin hasn't topped out yet. And I don't think Bitcoin is really there. Now, we might still be in a bull market for the next couple of months, so you might have time to leverage your Bitcoin, especially if you have a good amount. I would recommend just micro loans though. It's really easy to get in over your head as something that you can't pay back. So I wouldn't take a loan and put yourself in a position where you're having to borrow just to pay back a loan. Make sure what you're going into is financially smart. I wouldn't be taking a loan and going into Dogecoin or SafeMoon. I'd be very, very careful about the project that you invest in, but invest on something that's going to go to the upside and that's going to earn you a profit on the loan that you take. Like I said, already we're in profit. We're not even a couple of days in. I hope this was insightful. If you guys want to use the promo code, it's Queen. I have a link down below to get set up with Celsius if you haven't set up already. Me and you both get a reward for Bitcoin. I believe the reward is $40 worth of Bitcoin right now when you deposit $400 worth of cryptocurrency. So I would highly recommend you guys get set up with Celsius. It provides better loan rates than things like BlockFi, holds a lot more tokens than BlockFi, and usually the APY is a little bit better. Hopefully this video helped you understand how to leverage your assets rather than selling it and still enter positions. Again, the bull market isn't over. You don't want to sell your Bitcoin position when Bitcoin can still swing to the upside. So why not pay $12 to leverage against it? All right, everyone, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate the support so far. We've almost hit 2,500 subscribers, so I really appreciate it. Thanks, everyone, and happy hodling.